Most people look at a blank surface and see nothing. The artist looks at the same surface and sees an exciting challenge. This is the challenge to create. Let's study this painting. Here are some questions the artist asked herself as she created the work. What colors and shapes will I use? How will those colors and shapes be arranged? Is my goal to suggest a feeling or to capture a lifelike image? In these lessons, you will learn more about these and other questions artists ask themselves. You will also learn how you can use these questions yourself to better understand art. Objectives. After completing this chapter, you will be able to name and describe the elements of art, describe the different types of line, identify the properties of color, and experiment with various elements to understand their role in making art. Words you will learn: artist, color, elements of art, form, hue, intensity, line quality, negative space, portfolio, shape, space, still life, texture, and value. Featured artists: Deborah Butterfield, Alexander Calder, Paul Cézanne, Richard Estes, Janet Fish, Helen Hardin, Roy Lichtenstein, Henry Moore, Claude Monet, Miriam Shapiro, Victor Vasarely, and Vincent van Gogh. Have you ever heard a person described as wearing many hats? Saying a person wears many hats means he or she is good at a number of things. An artist, a person who uses imagination and skill to communicate ideas in visual form, wears many hats. Among the hats artists wear is one labeled scientist. Wearing this hat, artists experiment with the effects of light on objects. Wearing the mathematician's hat, they carefully measure distances between objects. Wearing the hat of a writer, they tell stories and record events. In these lessons, you will learn about the different ways in which artists have used these skills over the centuries. You will also meet specific artists and learn about their creations. Like other professionals, artists speak a language all their own. Just as a mathematician uses numbers, so the artist uses line. Much in the way musicians communicate through notes and sounds, artists speak in color and shape. The writer relies on words, sentences, and paragraphs, the artist on form, space, and texture. These 6 terms, line, color, shape, form, space, and texture, make up the artist's vocabulary. The terms are grouped together under the heading Elements of Art. These are the basic visual symbols an artist uses to create works of art. An artist's success depends on how well he or she uses these elements. When you look at an artwork, it is not always clear where one element ends and another begins. Study these artworks. You do not see the elements of form and color in the first or the element of line in the second. Instead, you see the works as a whole. As you examine each, your eye reads all the elements together. In fact, it is the careful blending of elements that allows you to see an artwork as the artist meant it to be seen. Taken together, the elements in this image add up to a basket of apples and a bottle. The lines in this image cleverly suggest a familiar farm animal. Can you identify it? Think back to when you first learned to read. You did not start with a book. Rather, you began by reading a word at a time. This is how you will learn the vocabulary of art. You will learn about the elements of art one at a time. Each of the remaining lessons in this chapter treats one or more elements. In later chapters, you will learn about other terms that are central to the practice and study of art. Studio activity: making a viewer. Much in the way a camera is used to focus on one area of a scene, you can better zero in on an object you plan to draw by using a viewing frame. To make a viewing frame, do the following. Cut a rectangular hole in a piece of paper about 2 inches in from the paper's edges. Hold the paper at arm's length and look through the hole at your subject. Imagine that the hole represents your drawing paper. Decide how much of the subject you want to have in your drawing. By moving the frame up, down, sideways, nearer, or farther, you can change the focus of your drawing.